This is Coach Lee, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the holidays and your ex, or special days like birthdays or anniversaries or meaningful days to your ex, and your strategy of getting back together with your ex. Click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more content like this that's helpful to your situation. And it doesn't just include breakups, it includes attraction, marriage, relationship dynamics, and mindfulness. The one common thing that everybody shares who watches me on YouTube, they have a birthday and they have an ex with a birthday. And so the most common question I get is, should I wish them happy birthday? Should I tell them Merry Christmas? Should I congratulate them on graduating or getting a promotion at work or starting a business? Or was I a jerk if I didn't do that? It's a big concern because people feel like that they owe it to this person, or that this person expects them to do it, to reach out. I actually have a video called Does Your Ex Want You to Contact Them? And I link to it in the description below. I would encourage you to watch it after watching this video all the way to the end. Some people want the answer right away, but those same people would then ask why. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. So the first thing is, I would discourage you from reaching out to your ex on a special day. I'm going to give you a lot of reasoning why and some ways that you can apply the rule to other situations. One of the reasons you feel like you should reach out to this person when it's their birthday or it's Christmas or Hanuka or whatever holiday it is. To be honest with you, I don't even know all the holidays that exist, but a special day, we'll call it. The reason you feel like you should reach out to them is because it would mean a lot to you if they reached out to you on those days. And also because you don't quite understand that the consequences of a breakup are important to changing their heart and changing their mind. We tend to think that in every situation that we get more flies with honey than we do vinegar. And that would be true as much as it's up to you. In other words, if you interact with them, you shouldn't be cold or rude or mean, especially if they contact you. And I even talk about if your ex reaches out to you, don't ignore them. And other people will actually say the opposite, but those people don't have 20 years experience observing these things in a professional environment to be able to say ignoring your ex is actually not the right thing to do, because it makes it less likely they will contact you again, which puts you in a bad situation, because now the only thing that you seem to be able to do is to contact them to try to get the ball rolling again, which is not a position that you want to be in. When people are ignored, or they believe they will be ignored or rejected, they're less likely to reach back out. So you should be polite, be casual, be fun when your ex initiates contact. Initiating contact or not is a different matter, because you tend to feel like that you should take it upon yourself to do these things. You feel responsible, or as though you're trying to meet expectations of your ex. But the thing is, your ex needs to feel the consequences, not just because they're negative, and that way they can actually want them to go away or want to act to change them, which is very, very important, but also because you are actually being respectful of your ex's wishes. When someone has broken up with you, they want less of you, much less. They don't want the relationship with you, at least how it was. And when they say they want friendship, usually they don't. It's just a lot nicer than saying, I really don't ever want to see you again, which at the moment they might feel that way. I have a video called Stages Your Ex Goes Through During No Contact or After a Breakup. And I talk about how the first stage your ex goes through after breaking up with you is relief. They're relieved to get it over with, because the breakup is something that they didn't just look forward to doing. It's awkward. They don't want to hurt you, especially if they're a good person. Even if they didn't care about you, they wouldn't want to hurt you. But they do still care about you, just not to the romantic level that they did. At least not yet. Not yet again. In this moment, they are relieved to get the breakup over with, and they are relieved to continue life now without you at the moment. Now we're working to change that. Things change, people change. People think they want something and then they don't. People can be misled by others. People can lose touch with themselves or go through emotional difficulties that make them think they feel something different than what they will feel later. And so this is not a matter of, well, if you really loved me, you wouldn't have broken up with me and been able to watch me hurt like this. Well, of course. At the moment, they don't think that they love you in that way. They love you in a general sense. They care about you because you two have a history, but at the moment, the romantic element of it is likely the problem. It's gone to a large degree. Their attraction has certainly fallen, or else they would be with you. And so by staying away, you're showing them that you respect their decision, that you respect their space. You're not going to overstay your welcome, because clearly you're not welcome at the moment. I give this example in another video, but if you were in a house with someone and they went to the room and closed the door and locked it, and you knocked on the door and you said, "Hey, what's wrong?" And they said, "I just want to be alone right now." If you broke the door down and went inside, do you think they would appreciate that and say, "Well, that was really clever of you," or "That was really a great demonstration of strength that you broke the door down even though I told you I wanted to be alone and you completely ignored what I wanted because you wanted to see me"? They would see that as immaturity. It would not be attractive. It would make you look socially out of touch and out of touch with them. And they might even think of you kind of as a stalker. And so you have to factor that in, that even though it would feel good to you if they reached out to you, they made a decision to break off the relationship. And so we want them to miss that. We want them to notice you didn't contact them on their birthday. You didn't reach out and say, "Merry Christmas," or "Happy Hanukkah," or "Happy Festivus." On that day, you actually have much more leverage, much more power, so to speak, than even just a typical day, because it's a special day. And they will notice your absence even more, especially if you've had those days with them before. If you have celebrated a holiday or a birthday with them in the past, then those memories will likely flood their minds to some degree. And they will notice they haven't talked to you that day. But the burden is with them. They're the ones who pulled back from the relationship. So if you move any more forward, you're chasing, because you didn't move away, right? You stayed where you were. You weren't the one pulling back. And so if you have two people basically at a point together and one pulls back, if you cross over that line, then you're chasing. You're even going into awkward territory because emotionally you're not welcome. And so even if the potential is there that they will start feeling that attraction for you again and recognizing their mistake, it still feels awkward at the moment until they start moving back towards you. And yes, there are situations where people will say, "Well, they don't miss me at all because there was somebody else," or "They really seem mad." Sure, at the moment, that's how it is. That doesn't mean that it can't change. Doesn't mean that it will change, but it does not mean that it can't change. And so your most effective day to be in no contact is on a special day when it's not just an average day. Hit the subscribe button below if you're tracking with me on this and appreciating this content. And remember, I have my emergency breakup kit, which is linked to in the description below, which is a powerful guide to getting your ex back. Now, more on this topic. Another reason that you feel like you should reach out to them is because most people that I speak to really still believe in the power of contacting this other person. And they don't believe in the power of being absent and no contact. And that's okay, I understand. You don't have thousands of cases and 20 years to look at like I do. So I get it, because I would think the same way. But you're wanting control. You're wanting some kind of control over the situation because you feel like you have no control, and that's why you feel the loss. In a breakup, the one who does the breaking up, they have control. And you basically, because you don't have any power, you can't say, "No, this won't happen." You basically feel that all you can do is beg for mercy. Just like with a dictator. They come and say, "I'm taking all your income," and they have weapons and the law behind them, you can't do anything except beg for mercy. God forbid any of us ever be in that situation. But that's what it feels like for you right now, because they're the ones who made the decision. You had no say in the decision. You were a victim in the decision. You had no control. And so you want to feel that you are having some control in the situation, or that you are taking control. And that's okay. I'm not going to lecture you on how control is an illusion. I'm just going to say that's most likely what you're feeling to some degree, even if you can't really put it into words like that. And so I'm going to tell you, you actually likely make more progress to getting back together with your ex if you stay away on those special days. Your absence is actually even more powerful than usual. And if you trust your absence, and what I mean by that is, if you believe that you were a strong enough contributor in the relationship, that you are attractive, and that they are making a mistake by breaking up with you, then trust that your absence will be painful, that your ex will miss you. Your absence has to exist for your ex to miss you. That's the number one thing that has to happen. They can't miss you if you keep making your presence known, if you keep reaching out and contacting them. If your ex reaches out to you and says, "Why didn't you wish me happy birthday?" or "Why didn't you wish me Merry Christmas?" even though it's more likely they would say it about the birthday, because Christmas is not just happening to one of us, or a holiday is not just happening to one of us, and so either could reach out in theory. But on your birthday, if it's your ex's birthday, then they would think, "Well, why didn't you reach out to me and say happy birthday because it's my birthday?" That's a possibility. They could do that. I've had that happen. I've talked to people who've had that happen or seen comments on YouTube where that's happened. Just in that case, you could say something like, "I figured you were busy with your family and friends, having a great time, and just didn't really want to bother you. I didn't feel like it was appropriate to do that, but I really hope you had a good day." It's not really likely that they will reach out and say, "Why didn't you wish me happy birthday?" It does happen, but only about 20% or less of the time will that happen. Most of the time they understand what's going on and that it's not really appropriate because you two are broken up and you are being respectful of their decision. And you're also letting them feel your absence, because the only way that your ex can know that they want your presence is if they don't like your absence. Take a quick second and click the subscribe button below. I truly wish you a great holiday and that your new year will be wonderful. I hope you get your ex back. I wish I could promise that. I can tell you what I've seen work the most, and that's what I try to do in all of my videos, is just tell you what works and give you the best chance of getting your ex back. No matter when you watch this video, I truly wish you the best. Hit the subscribe button below. Please don't forget that. This is Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.